Hi, welcome back. In previous couple of videos we have seen that we have built simple Spring Boot REST endpoints. In this video what we'll do, we will run our Spring Boot application from the command line. Okay, so during development we spend a lot of our time in IDE and we run our Spring Boot application from main entry point class, okay, which has a main method, right? So whatever the IDE you use, for example you may use IntelliJ IDEA, Eclipse or NetBeans. So you have to run your Spring Boot application using Spring Boot starter endpoint class, which has a main method, right? So sometime the developer may want to run Spring Boot application from outside the IDE, and one option for that is using command line. Okay, you can use a command line to run your Spring Boot application from outside the IDE. All right. So as we know that Spring Boot application, whenever we run as a standalone, Spring Boot application will run in an embedded Tomcat server. So we just have to run our Spring Boot application as a standalone. It will automatically deploy in an embedded Tomcat server. We don't have to download the Tomcat server from the internet. We don't have to install Tomcat server in our machine. Okay, great. So there are two options to run our Spring Boot application from the command line. So one option is using java-jar command and another option is using Maven plugin. Okay, so in this video I am going to show you both the options. So before running our Spring Boot application as a standalone in a command line, one more very important point is, if you look at the project structure of our Spring Boot application, here we have two files. Okay, these two files are called Maven wrapper files. Okay, so what these files will do, if we don't install Maven in our machine, then whenever we run our Spring Boot application using these commands, then Spring Boot application will automatically install a Maven for us by using these files. We don't have to install Maven and set up on our machine. Okay, so if you have already installed Maven, then you don't have to use these two files. You can simply delete these two files from your project. Okay, so in this video what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these two wrapper packages. Okay, so now what we will do, we will head over to this project in a file system. Okay, and open command line in this folder. Just type cmd and hit enter. So this will open a command line in your project, and here we're going to use mvenw. Okay, just look at here, mvenw. So this is the wrapper file that we are using to package our Spring Boot application as a jar file. Okay, so if you have already installed Maven in your machine, then you can simply use mvn. Okay, so this is the Maven cell. So I am assuming that you haven't installed Maven in your machine. Okay, so I am using mvenw. This is a Maven wrapper, and then just type package. So this will package your Spring Boot application as a jar file. So notice that our Spring Boot application is successfully built. Okay, and here you can just type dir. You can able to see the folder structure, and then just navigate to target folder, and here just type dir, and here you can see Spring Boot first app. Okay, so this is the jar file that we are going to run our Spring Boot application as a standalone. Alright, so in order to run this jar file as a standalone, just type the command java-jar followed by this jar name. Just copy it and paste here. So make sure that you have installed Java, because we are using Java command here. Alright, so go ahead and just hit enter. So this will run our Spring Boot application as a standalone in an embedded Tomcat server. So look at here, our Spring Boot application is up and running, and it is running in embedded Tomcat server on port 8080. Now let's head over to the browser and let's test the REST endpoints. So go to the browser, and in a browser just type localhost 8080/hello world. So this is the REST endpoint we have developed in this project, right? And this REST API should return hello world. it means that we have successfully ran our Spring Boot application from the command line. Okay, so this is the first option. So what you need to do is you simply need to package your Spring Boot application as a jar file first using this command mvnw package. If you have already installed Maven, then you can simply use mvn package. You don't have to use mvnw here. Okay, so after you package your Spring Boot application as a jar file, then simply use the command java-jar followed by the jar file name. So this will run your Spring Boot application in an embedded Tomcat server. Okay, great. So this is the first option. Now let us see the second option. Second option is using Maven plugin. Okay, so in order to run our Spring Boot application using Maven plugin, just type the command mvnw. So again here we are using Maven wrapper file. Okay, Maven wrapper command here. So if you have already installed Maven, then you can simply use mvn followed by the plugin name. But I am assuming that you haven't installed Maven, so I am using mvnw here. Okay, I followed by spring -boot :run. So this is the Maven plugin command that we are going to use to run our Spring Boot application as a standalone in embedded Tomcat server. So go ahead and hit enter. So it says mvnw is not recognized. So we are in a target folder, so we no need to go back to one folder. So here I am just enter the command mvnw spring -boot :run. Okay, make sure that you are in a project folder. Okay, so earlier I was in a target folder, that's why I got this error. But make sure that you are in a project folder. Okay, because this mvnw wrapper file is present in this project folder. Okay, now go ahead and hit enter. So look at here, our Spring Boot application is running in embedded Tomcat server, which is running on port 8080. Now let's go ahead and let's head over to the browser and let us test one of the REST API so that we will make sure that our Spring Boot application is running successfully. Okay, now I'm going to again use I'm going to call hello world REST API from the browser. So let me refresh. There we go. We got a successful response of this REST API. It means that we have successfully ran our Spring Boot application using Maven plugin. Okay, so this is a very important, guys. Whenever we develop a real-time project, sometime as a developer we need to run our Spring Boot application from the command line. Okay, so you can simply close your IDE and you can simply use these options to run your Spring Boot application using command line. Okay, it's pretty simple. All right, great.